Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Lifetime movies.
I am Patrick Serrano, and I am a Lifetime movie expert.
I'm Dan, and I despise Lifetime movies, and this is the Deck the Lifetime Encore podcast.
Woo!
Get your hands in the air, y'all. Party, 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 party never stops. Party, 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 party never stops. Ha!
Whoa.
Remix?
Yeah, it's just something I've been working on. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Another week, another Deck the Lifetime Encore podcast.
Can I tell you what happened?
Surprise.
We did one last week for the first time in what felt like years.
Mhm.
And the reaction, the response was overwhelming, Patrick. People were in the comments, people were emailing. They were like, this was so great. We missed it. So by literal popular demand, Patrick, back
That's
for more.
awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited. No pressure, right? Be funny. Be funny.
Patrick, you just be yourself, bud. You
That's
just be
right.
yourself.
And we also can announce you're coming to Bramblefest again this year, Patrick.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I don't have my outfit picked, but I'm going to have to top those sparkly shoes I wore last year.
That's right.
Those
Now,
were hot.
Can I ask you this, even though it's a few months out? Last year you showed up and you were like, I still don't know what this is, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit better about things this year than you did last year at this point?
Oh, I think I'll still be very nervous and, imposter syndrome, but I will be there and I will be smiling. And yeah, I'm very excited.
We gotta pick a good one this year, Pat. A lot to live up to from last year's.
What do you mean pick a good one?
A movie for us to do.
Oh,
Me and Patrick.
Yeah.
The thing that we do.
I thought you
This
meant
show.
like pick a good
Where we do it live.
Okay, got it.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What
the
do we do?
live show will be so fun because everyone will have seen the movie in the room, so that's great.
That is very fun.
All
I'm trying
bets
to
are
remember
off.
what movie we did last year. Was something
There were
about
some
a cheerleader?
Yeah.
Yes, it was cheerleaders and murder.
Cheerleader and murder. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love that?
Who doesn't?
We got a good one today to talk about. A lot action packed, to say the least.
Oh yes.
If people might recall, I think we did this on air last week, where we just tried to figure out what movie we were going to do.
Chaos on the Farm didn't win
Chaos
out.
on the Farm did not win out. We
No.
ended up rolling with her fiance's double life. Her fiance's
Her
double life.
fiance's
A movie where if you Google it and go to IMDb, it is a different title. But we don't even talk about that. We don't
It's kind of like Love and
we
Hate.
will get there.
Of course we will.
Patrick, set this up for us. Let us know who we need to know about. Really, who Dan needs to know about, because I watched a movie, and then we will break it down.
Okay, so we're talking about, as we said, Her Fiance's Double Life, which was a polarizing movie online, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like the tweets, I don't like Twitter, but they were tweeping the tweeples. And
Why don't you like Twitter? Is it any reason?
Twitter's toxic. It's a toxic place. So I don't like to be involved in all that negativity.
You
So
still have your
You watch Lifetime movies every week. What do you mean?
Lifetime's all about murder and like fun things, like betrayal, not like just like being mean for just the sake of being mean.
What? That's exactly what Lifetime movies do.
No, it's different.
It's
Okay,
different.
all
It's different. But yeah, so the
Twitter
movie,
means a different type of mean. It's a
Okay.
mean that we don't want to be associated with.
yeah, it's it's mean for being mean. If you're going to be mean, have a reason for it. Like your husband is cheating on you with the secretary.
PSA about being like drunk and driving at 17. for
Yes.
instance. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah.
So the movie today also has the alternate title that we talked about, Falling for a Killer. So we know that some people are going to die in the movie.
A better title, I might add.
I think so. And the reason we picked this movie is because Lindsay Hartley is the director, and she makes a cameo appearance. She's not the star, but she's a former Lifetime star who has turned director, writer of these movies. And we love someone who knows the genre and is coming in and just like really going hard after it, right?
We do love that.
You knew all of that going in.
I know. Yeah, of course I know.
You know
Lindsay.
where her cameo was in the movie.
Lindsay Hartley?
Yeah.
Lindsay Hartley, yes.
She's right out of the gate.
Yeah. She's
She's right out of the.
Right out of the
we'll
gate.
get to her.
Okay.
She's right out of the gate,
Great.
though.
Oh
Good.
yes, and she is. If you don't know, she's from Passions, and she also was married to Justin Hartley from This Is Us. So she goes way back in the TV movie genre. Okay.
Got it.
She's beautiful. She's, of course, very talented. But yes, the movie stars Lindsay Hartley. It also stars Olivia Buckle, Jonathan Stoddard, and
come on down,
Aubrey Reynolds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They are all super attractive people, and they're happy to be there, doing their Lifetime thing. They're like Lifetime regulars, all of them. So they know what they're doing. And I guess we'll just jump into the movie. The movie, it starts off with a confrontation, like in the middle of a confrontation. And you're like, is this another movie? Did I miss something? Like, it's like Lindsay Hartley, she's yelling at this hot guy, and she's like, what? They're in like an office, and she's like, what is this life insurance policy you've taken out? It's terrible. Like, I didn't know anything about that. And he's like, don't worry, it's just in case something happens. You're my wife and I love you. And
the excuse that he gives right out of the gate is a goodie, because she's like, me and the girls were going in the Corvette and we were having a girls' night, and I came across this life insurance policy that you take out on my name. And he's like, a guy came by the office and everybody got one. Everybody
got one.
They were throwing out life insurance policies,
shots and giving out life insurance policies.
Everyone got one. I got one. I took one out, but I took one out under my name too. Is it in a different location? Maybe. I don't know. I just left yours. Everybody got one though, and that's what you need to know. And that is all she needs to hear. That's wonderful news.
He's looking out for her.
Yeah, he's looking out for her. And now let's go have sexy time.
Of course. Right out of the gate.
Oh yeah, it was right there. So he's like, let me walk you out. Like, I'm gonna do some things in this office. And she's like, the renovation's going really well. It looks great. And he's like, yeah. And so he's like kissing her, and they're at the elevator. He presses the button, and she's like, oh gosh, I just love you so much, honey, baby, sweetie. And then the elevator dings, opens up, ding, opens up, and then he pushes her down the elevator shaft, and she's like, whoa. And she dies.
What? Yeah. Yes. Now you might be wondering, Dan, and I know that you are.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Where did the elevator go? I gave this a lot of thought, Patrick, and I think that he explains it to us. Did you catch this? When they walk up to the elevator, he presses buttons a handful of times, and she says, if you press the buttons a lot, it's not going to make it go faster. And he's like, you think I work all day? I read up on elevator manuals on Wikipedia all day long, and I know the secret codes that you press that make the elevator go faster. And they laugh it off, and it's a big fun time. I think that he's telling the truth, but instead of knowing the secret code to make it go faster, he knows the secret code to have the door open up without the elevator being there. Because I imagine you would need some sort of code if you are an elevator worker to have the door open up without the elevator.
No.
Yeah.
If you put a code to open up the elevator and some kid hit it by accident, that'd be a lawsuit.
Very elaborate code.
How many buttons are on the outside of the elevator?
2, but it's like an up, down, up, down, up,
left,
down,
right,
BA,
left, right,
BA, start.
Yeah. That's what kids figured out in Contra, the video game.
It's
easy.
I'm just saying he pressed a bunch of buttons. The elevator opens up without the elevator in there, and he pushes her down.
So I'm looking it up on Wikipedia, and the code is down, down, up, up.
Okay. Kids, if you're listening at home and you want to open up an elevator without the elevator being there,
it's a simple code of whatever I just said, whatever I just made up.
How dare you?
But is that kind of how you understood it, Patrick? Because if that's not the explanation, then where's the freaking elevator, Dan?
It's not there.
Right. The explanation was given to us.
It's a Mission Impossible situation where there's somebody on a computer making the elevator go up and then opening the door.
Well,
so you think this guy's got an elaborate Mission Impossible?
If he's killing his wife, then yeah, I think he does. I think he's got a whole team working for him, a squad.
How did you explain it in your mind, or did you not give it much thought?
Well, Pat? This is the difference between you and I watching a movie. Like, I didn't spend any time thinking about this. I was just like, of course the elevator shaft's empty.
The elevator's not there.
You were like, noted. Good
Yeah,
God.
he said that the office was under renovation, so clearly they didn't put in the elevatory part yet. They just put in the hole where the elevator goes.
Yeah, but how'd she get up there?
They
She
didn't put
walked
in
up
the
the-
elevator.
They took the stairs. I don't know. I did not think about this at all. I was just like, oh no, Lindsay Hartley's dead. She's the star of the movie.
I was very bothered by this right out of the gate. The door opens and he pushes her, and we're just supposed to be like, okay.
Yeah, I guess that one didn't work.
Once again, the elevator didn't show up.
Occasionally it'll open, it won't be anything.
But then I realized, like, I honestly do believe that the whole explanation he gave was how he did it.
Yeah.
Because what other reason would he be doing this thing?
You think there's a secret code using
I don't
just
think
an
that
up
there
and
is.
down button?
No, I don't think that there is.
In this movie, there was.
In this movie, there is.
Then why not? Why not?
Put
Yeah,
a
that
cork-
makes sense.
There's no
Put a
reason.
cork all the way.
There's
in.
no other reason for him to be pressing the buttons a ton of times, unless it's the way that
I've
he's
heard
going
enough.
to kill his wife.
I've heard enough.
Okay, well, Lindsay Hartley dies, and we cut to a redhead. She is chugging wine on the beach, like chugging, just downing it. Red wine, too. I was like, ugh, red wine on the beach, not my favorite.
By the glass, just full glass.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like, oh, she's going through it. Her name's Darcy. She's our protagonist. She is stressed because her younger sister's getting married before her. And her friend, who's also at the beach, is like, aren't you kind of upset your younger sister's getting married? And Darcy's like, no, I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. Chugging wine. She's like so upset.
Have you ever been in a situation, Patrick, where you have just a 6-ounce pour of wine? You've just one gulp done it. Ever.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Okay. I don't feel like
You asked the wrong person.
yeah,
that
you've
question.
never done that.
No.
For
Yeah,
I
dramatic
don't do
effect, you guys have never just drunk a whole drink just to be like, ugh.
Yeah. Like a whole beer, yes, but wine. Like
Yeah.
6 ounces of wine at once, like a shot? No.
Yes, I could do
Yeah.
that. No problem.
Another fun fact about Darcy is obviously her sister's getting married, but also she's assistant DA. And people keep
Ooh.
being like, when are you going to be real DA? You're near.
Real DA.
When are you going to be the real DA? You're near in 40. Apparently, there's a saying that if you're not the DA by 40, you'll never be the DA.
That's a really weird saying.
Classic saying.
It's a classic saying. So that's also kind of going
April
on.
showers
in her.
bring May flowers and under 40 DAs.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
you guys, I'm almost 40. So I really felt that. I was like, oh God, I'm never going to be DA. Life,
Yeah.
that's crossed off my list of things to do.
Patrick, you and I both turned 40 this summer.
Yeah.
How we feel? You turned 40 right before Bramble Fest, and I turned 40 right after Bramble Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We'll see.
You feeling good about it? You'll have to give me all the insights when you get here because you'll be 40 and I won't yet.
I don't have
You're solid.
any advice, but my body is falling apart. Let's just say, like, I took my shirt off yesterday. I was taking my shirt off, and I was like, I think I just hurt my shoulder taking my shirt off.
Yeah.
It'll get you, man. You got to watch how you derobe.
Yeah. So, I feel Darcy on this. She's like, going through it, and she deserves to chug that wine. But she goes to visit her family. They're like in the South somewhere, kind of like a Savannah or something like that. I don't know if we get the actual location, but green vines everywhere, very like summery vibes. And it's like an estate, right? They're like very wealthy, her family. She pulls up and she's greeted by the housekeeper. The housekeeper is called the maid throughout the movie. And this is my one quibble with the movie. And she's a black woman. And I'm like, guys, can we stop having black maids in the South? I don't like that. Let's
But I do think that was purposeful because this family is what, as you'll find out, kind of the worst.
the
Like,
worst.
They like the dad forgets her name at some point. Like,
Yes.
I think it was a purposeful thing.
Where
Like,
in the South is this?
it doesn't matter.
Let's just say Georgia. And
It is the
It's
South.
Alabama, to be fair, because
Okay.
Alabama.
great.
There is a hodgepodge of Southern accents, though. So there is that.
But the person who doesn't have the accent is the housekeeper because she's actually hearing impaired and speaks in sign language throughout the whole movie, which I thought was very cool. Not even a note of like, how did she get to hearing impaired? Like, it's not brought up at all. The character is just, living in the world, and Darcy signs with her, and she's like, I'm really nervous to go see the fam because they suck. And the maid, her name's Christina. She's like, yeah, they do suck. You're right. Sometimes I bribed my kid with a lollipop to get them to do what I want. So do you want a lollipop? And then you can go inside. And Darcy takes the lollipop. She's like happily licking the lollipop, going to meet her family.
It is a really good looking lollipop. But I will just add,
I agree. It looks so good.
It looks so good about it.
It's like you can see the spirals.
It was a big red lollipop.
Big old red one. But how about Darcy, who grew up in this house, and I guess Christina's been there forever because she decided to learn sign language so that she could communicate with her, which I thought was it shows that she's cool despite being not a DA yet. And then even
though she's almost 40.
In contrast with the rest of her family and how little they try in every area.
Right, because no one else in the family knows sign language, and
they don't care about her at all.
No,
it's nice.
Awful. So we actually meet the family, and I brought a clip, of course. The sister is so excited to see her, and the sister, her name is Brie, and she's like kind of Brie. I think it's Bray.
What did you say?
Or Brea?
Brea.
Yeah. There we go.
I did not think it was Brea.
And Brea is like a ditzy character, she's kind of like silly, which I liked that very much. And then the clip that I'm going to play is just her meeting them, and like you'll see in the first 2 seconds exactly what I'm talking about.
No kissing in this, right?
No kissing, I promise.
Good.
Oh, it looks like we have company. Oh my God, you came! I'm so happy you came. Let me look at you. You look tired. We should get colonics later.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Whenever I see someone now who's 40, I'm going to say, you look tired. We should get colonics later.
What is colonics?
A colonic is, Oprah taught me this. You go to a place, they lie you on a table, and they put a hose up your butt, and they suck all the poo-poo out, or they rinse all the poo-poo out of a tube. That's what it is. That's what it is. And then you lose like 5 to 10 pounds of like poo-poo.
Did you know about 5 to 10 pounds of poop? I assumed colonics was somewhere in the rectal region just because of the name colonics.
No, 5 to 10. Are you telling me I got 5-10 pounds poop up there?
This isn't my favorite subject, but yeah, apparently it's supposed to be like very like you feel a lot less bloated, you feel like really great and energized.
Not your favorite subject, but you brought the clip, Patrick. I don't know. That seems awfully convenient. Yes. Listen.
You want to go get a colonic
for the vlog?
Oh my God, you should. I wanted to go too.
All right, Patrick. When you're down here for Bramblefest, we'll take a quick pit stop
over for colonics.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I totally would. It's a youthful thing. We'll feel great all weekend. We'll get
great all weekend.
But it just kind of shows the character.
How
right?
early?
He gets in, and I think he gets in like Thursday morning.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
we got plenty of time.
Great, love that. But the family is unhinged. That's like the go-to thing, right? So this is like clearly setting up a wealthy family. They have access to they have colonics, they have Botox, they have all the stuff that you could ever want. And the family is very familiar with her fiance, and her fiance's name is Thomas. And Thomas is the same guy from the beginning of the movie who pushed Lindsay Hartley down the elevator.
The code for the elevator.
Yeah, Thomas is the code for the elevator guy. Thomas is also the type of guy that when he sees someone who is clearly related to the family, he goes, "Looks like you have company," when the sister walks up, which is a weird thing to say, but and maybe he's doing his own thing over there.
Yes, and there's also the parents. The parents' names are Douglas and I forget the mom's name. Let me check my notes. Loretta and Douglas are the parents, and they are very like Southern. I brought another clip today because this cannot be explained, Dan. This is
Did you bring a clip of Thomas and Douglas fighting?
Yes, I did, because it's another It's another. Do you have it?
No, I was watching and I was like, I hope he brings this clip. It is the weirdest thing. Just to tell you one more thing about Thomas. Thomas, even
I feel
though
like we're just meeting people, is this going to be a 90-minute episode of
possibly, even though Thomas is only engaged to their daughter, he does call them mom and dad.
Yeah.
So that's everything you need to know about Thomas.
Yeah,
classic.
And he's very handsome. He is like of Lifetime hunks, he's like probably like top 3 hunks for me.
Wow, top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I could see that.
He's like hairy chested, he's a man.
He's a man's man.
All right, but here is the clip, and Dan, I think you'll get the vibe of like the actors are committed. Okay, that's all you need to know.
Okay,
this is committed. Thomas and Douglas,
and they are talking about universities.
And Thomas is engaged to Douglas's daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Okay, here we go.
I know. A safety school. Oh.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Safety school?
Say it one more time.
Safety school? No. Okay.
They're tickling each other.
I get. Stop it. I get. I'm sorry. I get.
What just happened?
The father and the future son-in-law are tickling each other, and
because of safety school.
Because Penn. I wrote the school down. It's like a law school or something, and
it's an Ivy League school.
Yeah. Well, University of Pennsylvania is a safety school because the dad went to Harvard Law. So he's like, Harvard Law is way better. But they're both Ivy Leagues, and like, they're like play fighting. And the whole time this scene is happening, Darcy.
They have a tickle fight?
What?
Yeah, it's a tickle fight. And it's a lot. It's a lot. This is the first time where I realized that Douglas is one of the weirdest characters I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. This character is just completely unhinged. I don't know if the actor is like a theater actor or something, but he is on another level. And
he's not the killer. He's not the killer.
No.
He's the dad.
It was so wild. And literally this is happening, and Darcy's like just looking like, what the hell? Like her face is everybody watching the movie. She is like literally a surrogate audience viewer.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Boy, sounds like a lot.
That's when we knew this movie was going to be like pushing it to a 10, right?
They're all very committed. Yes, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on. Darcy kind of unpacks and it's like, trying to ask her sister how she met Thomas. They met on a beach trip and they had sex like on every possible thing you could have sex on at the beach. She like lists like a lifeguard chair, the bar, a surfboard. Like she's just like very yeah, she's like very Brea is very happy because she's marrying a hottie, wealthy lawyer, and she's like, I'm really locked into this, and he gets along with the family.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Thomas is creeping Darcy out because he knows a lot about her. Okay, he's like, he knows that she's a high profile prosecutor who puts away criminals, and that she's like, not going to make it to the she's the assistant DA, not the DA. And he's like, yeah, I Googled you. Like, I've been looking into you. And she's like, okay, that's really strange. Like, why are you looking into me? I'm just the sister. And as they're talking, there is a wait person, like a waiter, who kind of
party going on.
Yeah, like I think it was like a caterer or something.
Yeah.
He comes in and drops a tray or something and interrupts them. And Thomas is like, whoa, what the heck? And the waiter's like, sorry, dude, my bad. And
he doesn't just drop the tray though. He runs into Thomas in a way I've never seen before. he probably should have been fired. But when he like runs into Thomas, all this food and goo go everywhere. I don't really know what was on the tray, but it was very gooey. And he's like, sorry, dude. And he bends down to pick up the stuff he dropped. Thomas bends down and he's like, it's sir, not dude.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we got that.
So he's serious.
He's very upset. And then later, he basically tracks down the waiter as he's cleaning up the catering and putting all the stuff in the van and brutally stabs him multiple times. Like, they're very bloody. Blood splatters all over the van windows and all over Thomas. And that's when we know. Yeah.
Man.
And that's 2 deaths. That's 15 minutes. And so we're off to a good start. Hey, let's take a quick break, Patrick. We'll come back and we'll see if anybody else dies in the next 15 minutes. How's that sound?
I love it.
Do it.
You're on.
Take the Lifetime Uncorked.
Welcome back. We're 15 minutes in. We're 2 deaths deep.
Yes.
Thomas is on a rampage. What happens next, Patrick?
Well, after you kill someone, you obviously have to take a sexy shower. So we get a gratuitous scene of Jonathan Stoddard taking a shower for no reason, which is so fun for me. Darcy calls her coworker and she's like, hey, guys, like.
I just really quickly do want to point out that Patrick completely left out the fact that he's joined by his fiance and they have sexy time shower. And Patrick's mind
just saw
it was just Thomas. It was just Thomas.
I like clearly didn't even pay attention to her at all. If she was there, I had no recollection of that. I was envisioning myself in the shower. So yeah.
Playing the role of Thomas's fiance.
Very impressive editing by Patrick there.
Well, you know, so
random 3-minute solo showers.
I was confused.
I don't know what that's about.
Lifetime's really doing it. Just blood splattering everywhere. Solo shower scenes.
You know, they go there. So the friend who works for the police department, she is like gonna look into Thomas. She's gonna do like a background check, and she finds out that he's like an insurance scammer basically, but it's all like circumstantial evidence, like nothing to pin anything on him. Like he's had a few wives die, but you know, of accidents, so there's nothing criminal about it. And Darcy's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep that in mind. And she really just like has a distrust of Thomas, and to the point where her mom Loretta is like telling her that she's jealous. She's like, you're jealous of your sister. She quotes Shakespeare, methinks the lady doth protest too much, while downing a Bloody Mary, which is iconic to me. And she's like,
it's your classic post-church Bloody Mary gossip thon that we all love so much.
It's great. And she basically, Loretta, the mom, is like, since we're paying for Brea's wedding, we're just going to give you your wedding money now because you're never going to get married, you 40-year-old loser. And Darcy's like,
loser.
Yeah, it's like so mean. Like the way the family treats Darcy is just not cool. So
the backstory here, apparently, like, Douglas, old Daddy Doug over here, owns his own business, and they do something in the legal world.
Yeah.
And Darcy was supposed to join him in this company, and she chose not to do that and chose to go down the path of assistant DA, maybe DA before 40. And Dad's like very hurt by this, and it's been 10 plus years, but he clearly still has a lot of wounds and continues to take it out on his poor daughter, who's only, I don't know, being an assistant DA. So, you know, what could you?
And it's so bad that the dad has the last accomplishment that she ever did in her life was like getting first place in like a spelling bee or something. And there's a plaque on the mantle that's like Darcy winner, and he has it prominently displayed because that was the last time she like was a winner in his eyes. And
it's a great plaque, though. I'll tell you that much.
It is a good plaque, but you know, it's just like very interesting that he just keeps like that one thing. And she's like, "Wow, I can't believe he still has that there. That's so weird."
Like like they want you to take note of this plaque.
No.
Yeah, it might be important later. So Thomas like is doing shady stuff. Like he walks in the backyard with a shotgun, and Darcy's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "What do you think? I'm gonna kill your family? That's hilarious. I'm just going hunting with your dad." And they go hunting with the dad, and then there's this guy, like a coworker of Douglas's, and the coworker's like, "Oh, I recognize you. You is your name Tommy?" And Thomas is like, "No, my name's Thomas." And
Wait.
yeah, and then Thomas like laughs it off, and he envisions fantasizing, like he starts to have fantasies about like shooting people. So he fantasizes that he's shooting Douglas and Earl while they're out, and like all this stuff going on.
My theory here is that Lifetime realized that they had already really killed too many people up until this point. But they like had a lot more deaths planned, and so they're like, what if we just made like most of them fantasies? Like, can we get by with that? So there's a good bit of death that will happen, but it'll just be in his mind, so he gets away with
How many times do they pull that trick off?
I think 2 more times.
Good
Yeah,
gosh.
a couple times, and so really you're starting to doubt everything in the movie, right? Because it's already like out of 10, and you're like, whoa, he killed those people. But no, he is very angry that he's almost found out. He goes into the front yard, starts slapping himself in the face. He calls the insurance company to try to like expedite his insurance stuff for Brea because he knows that like he's about to get caught. And then he's like rubbing his temples. He's like, I'm okay. Don't worry.
He's having a full panic attack. He's like fully freaking out. He's on the phone. He's like, I need these forms now, overnight. I'll pay double. He's doing the thing where you like go like this, and it's supposed to calm you down, but it just kind of makes you look even crazier.
You mean just like massaging, not tapping?
No, he's tapping.
He's full on tapping.
Which is a thing. I've seen this on the internet. This whole
This
tapping
doesn't seem
thing.
like it would
That
set
and
any-
elevator codes, right?
This seems
tapping
actually
the
say
temple
what you
and then the
say.
elevator codes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 taps, up, down, up.
There you go.
Tap,
Tap,
up,
tap,
down,
tap.
up, and you're good.
and you're good to
Absolutely.
go. No open shafts.
There's only I was just gonna say there's only one problem with this display of self-care is that Christina witnesses the whole thing, and Christina speaks in sign language, but she also is an excellent lip reader.
Yeah, of course.
And he sees her in the distance, and she's staring at him like, you are so crazy.
Yes.
And the next day, we get a beautiful shot. This was a great director moment of Christina walking to the house, and there's a camera pan from above following her into the doorway. Very cinematic. So giving Lindsay Hartley some director kudos for making it at least visually interesting here. Christina walks to the house. She starts cleaning. She gets stuck in the arm with a syringe full of Kool-Aid, and because it was red, and it looked like Kool-Aid to me. And it's obviously Thomas paralyzing her with some type of concoction where she's going to die. So he puts her on the floor. He waits a minute, and then he screams for help. Everyone comes running down. Christina! Oh my God, Christina! And that's my country. And
good stuff
really
there.
Good. And our girl, what's her name?
Darcy.
Darcy is like, I know how to sign. So even though she can't talk, I can sign, and she can sign back to me about what happened.
You want to do some more fake signing?
No, I don't.
I know. I keep trying. I keep almost doing it, and then I'm talking with my hands.
I realize I don't know what I'm doing. And so, but she does. And so Thomas, quick thinking here by Thomas, to be honest with you, is like, pin her arms down. She might hurt herself, which I don't know, but it did allow her not to be able to sign what happened, which is clearly what she was getting ready to do to Darcy. So quick thinking on our guy Thomas is good one, bud.
That's a pro killer right
there.
It's
a pro killer move.
Yes, and Christina goes into a coma. She's presumed dead. The family actually doesn't really care. They're more concerned about, other things. Like, this is where the dad gets the name wrong. He's like, well, I sure hope Isabel's gonna be okay. Like, that's not her name.
Come on, Dougie.
That is not her name, Douglas. So yeah, but she actually does survive. We learn later that she does survive, but this is the last we see of her. And in the middle of the night,
So they just write her off, like, oh, she made it.
Yeah,
yeah.
You need to know that later on.
Okay,
And it's
got it.
kind of like, and I know
Got it.
people were concerned. We thought she was dead until the very end, and then they just let us know, which
I
is
got you.
super cool of them.
Super kind.
Super kind.
We really,
Like,
I mean, people were concerned. People were messaging me on like Instagram. Is she okay? I'm like, I'm sure the actress is fine, but Christina, I don't know.
We got very attached to Christina.
We did. It was a good actress too.
Quality job.
Right? I'm like, let me just name drop her. Hadassah Patterson was excellent in this movie.
You went into that with excellent confidence.
Thank you. As I do. So, Thomas is still up to no good. He is ruining Darcy's phone. Like, he puts it in the sink. There's a very elaborate sink phone thing that happens. And he puts the phone back on the nightstand and then envisions strangling Darcy for fun.
One thing I know about Thomas now is he knows a lot about how long things take. He does a lot of doing something and then looking at his watch and then being like, okay, now it's time. So like he knows how long a phone has to be submerged in a sink to be completely ruined. He knows how long the Kool-Aid has to be in Christina before he can yell. Like is he
just educated guess?
No,
or
he's on like he's looking. He's like,
tracking it pretty good.
Now it's time.
Okay.
So like he really knows
things,
numbers.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So we basically learn that
we're not going to edit that out.
No,
Can you
it's
believe
pretty
it?
cool.
Can you believe it?
It's pretty cool that
that's pretty cool. Back to you.
All right. So Darcy can't keep her thoughts to herself. She tells the family that Thomas has other wives that had died mysteriously, and they're all very upset that she is like ruining the good vibes. And they're
my favorite scene, and I just want to really quickly, this is so upsetting to everybody. Like, I cannot believe that this non-DA would come out here and say things about Thomas. So much so, the family's so upset that Darcy's mom looks at Douglas and says, "Take me back to the city." Which I didn't even know they lived in the city. She was like, "Take me back to the city, Douglas. I can't take this anymore."
They are more upset about this sister moment than the housekeeper dying. I'm like, guys,
yes,
come on.
They're very upset. And this is all one day, mind you. I think this is all the same day.
Same day. So everyone leaves. Darcy is like closing up the house at night, and she gets shot out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? Is this real? Like, she got shot? Yeah. She's writhing on the floor. She's screaming like, I knew it. I knew you were a bad person. And he just looks at her and stands over her and shoots her dead.
Yeah. And
gunshot.
And he explains a lot here. He explains that everything that she thinks that he's doing, he is doing. But he also gives the reason for why. So Thomas's dad is a notorious serial killer that was put behind bars by the DA's office.
40 under. Yeah.
And so he explains, my first wife was related to the judge. Killed her.
Yeah.
My second wife was related to the real DA, I believe. Someone
killed her.
And you were the last person on my list. My goal was, and his whole thing is I don't want to kill you. I want to do what you did to me, which is to get rid of somebody that I care about. My dad was a good dad. He was there for me and blah, blah, blah. So he does this whole thing and he explains why he did what he did. And then boom, gunshot straight to the chest.
Yeah.
And this is not a vision.
No, this is real.
This is real.
This here's real.
And so Thomas goes back. So she was like at her house, I think. She was at a different place because he goes back to the place, and her sister is there, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, my sister was so sad. She left, and like she took her plaque with her. Like, I missed her so much. This is awful." And she's like, "Don't worry about it." They go upstairs to have sexy time, and they get a ring on the door. There's a ring. And who's at the door? Who's at the door, Patrick? Who's at the door? No, Patrick, it's the people with they overnighted
Patrick,
the light.
do you not know who's at the door?
Well, we mentioned like there was about to be sexy time, so I didn't write anything down.
They overnighted the insurance claims. It's the insurance guy.
Oh, right, the insurance guy.
Right. And he's like, "Hey, I'm with the
How
insurance.
many of us watched this movie?
I'm with the life insurance people. Here's the forms you had overnighted, which seemed like a big emergency." Closed the door, and the fiance was there, heard the whole thing, and was like, Darcy knew the whole time. And he goes to choke her. Do you remember this, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay. He goes to choke her. And what happens?
I don't believe him.
What happens?
1 of 10 believability.
What happens mid-choke? What happens from behind?
So from behind comes Darcy, because Darcy, we see, woke up on the floor, like gasping for breath, because in her breast pocket of her coat, she had the plaque. The plaque stopped the bullet.
The plaque stopped the bullet. The plaque stopped the bullet.
Why did she have the plaque in her pocket?
Because she was mad that her dad, the only thing that he cares about was this
one
dumb plaque. So she's like, "I'm going to take this on my way out. I'll put it right here next to my heart."
That's right.
This is why I always keep a good King James right by my heart.
Amen.
But everybody has their thing. She got the plaque, and the plaque caught the bullet.
The U.S. Constitution for me.
Saved your life. Saved your life.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So she's alive, and they fight.
They fight. There's a lot of fighting that happens back and forth. Thomas, some lines that happened during the fight that I thought were interesting are Thomas says he's going to carve Darcy's sister like a Christmas ham.
I don't like.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Brea says, "I'm keeping the ring" at one point while they're fighting. There's a lot of like sassy comments during the fight, but basically like there's pepper spray, all this stuff. Loretta and Douglas show up during the fight. They pull out the shotgun from before, and they hold Thomas at gunpoint before the police show up, and they arrest him right there on the scene.
And you might be wondering, I thought they were heading back to the city, which they were heading back
to the city. Douglas.
Douglas forgot his duck call.
Yeah, man, that's good. Lucky for Douglas.
They had to go back to the duck call. And you might be thinking that this is the end of the movie, but it's not.
No.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the thrilling conclusion of this movie here on
Prologue.
We're back.
What more could we have?
And we have fast forwarded 1 year.
Patrick, year later.
We're in Darcy's office, and Darcy is now
she's working
the DA.
The
official DA.
It's true. She's living a great life. She plays chess by mail with her dad, which is fun.
Really weird. Yeah. It is a very weird thing to include that her and her dad play chess by mail.
Not online.
Mailing back and forth
moves.
The move. So queen to G4.
In the mail, like with a stamp on it.
Yes. Do they live in the same town? Yes. We know this because dad is sending somebody that works for him. And this guy comes in there, and he looks great. Good looking fella.
Very handsome.
Very handsome fella. And he hands him, and they go back and forth and talk about, little small talk. He's
flirting. He's flirting.
It's flirting. It's just flirting. He does ask her out. Yes. He does ask her out, and she's like, "Great, wonderful." So he leaves, and a coworker comes in and is like, "Oh my gosh, that guy." So Patrick, you go. The guy walks down the staircase.
Walks down the staircase, and he turns and he's like, "Yeah." I don't know exactly what he says. I'm gonna paraphrase.
Here's the line. So they're talking
okay,
back
you
and
have
forth.
it. I'm like, I didn't write it.
And she's like, yeah, me and my dad, we play chess. And he's like, yeah, me and my brother, we play chess too. He walks down the stairs, pulls out his phone, opens it up, and it's a picture of the news article of Thomas getting arrested. And he says, me and my brother used to play chess. Fade to black. That's Thomas's brother.
It's the brother.
Here to clean up.
Oh man, yeah. They left it open for the sequel.
They sure did.
Yeah, they did.
And that was her fiance's double life.
Mhm.
Patrick, take it away.
So, well, on the show, we pour it up and put a cork in it. Dan, you haven't seen the movie. What are you going to do to this movie?
I'm exhausted, first of all. I feel like this was a lot. I feel like I really could go either way. It's very clear one of us enjoyed this movie way more than everyone else, and that was Brandon.
I don't know.
I think it's obvious. This was a lot. I thought we were done 3 times. So put a cork in it. I'm too much. Maybe it's more fun to watch. I always have fun with the two of you gentlemen, but this was too much. I'm putting a cork right in it.
There you go. Okay, Bran, what are your thoughts, or what are you thinking?
Maybe I didn't play it as close to the vest. Maybe I had a plaque showing the whole
You
time.
literally were like, no, this happened 8 times.
I love this movie. I love it. I loved it. And then the ending happened and I loved it double. And it's not just that it's insane and you get a lot of murder per capita in this movie, but everybody is going full bore, 100. And there are some Douglas is one of the weirdest characters I've ever seen on a screen. Just insane. And I got to say, Thomas and Darcy knocked it out of the park. The two leads in this movie, Darcy, who's not quite the DA, and Thomas the killer, absolutely crushed it. I love this movie. Possibly my favorite of these type of movies, non-Christmas or Lifetime movie that I've seen.
Wow.
I love it. I just had a blast, a ball, 100%.
Man.
There you go. Well, and exactly. So this is coming from somebody who knows Lifetime very well, Lindsay Hartley. She's been in a ton of these. She's played these type of killer nurses and all that type of stuff. She's also played a good guy. So she really knows the archetypes of a Lifetime movie and filled in every slot very well. You have professional actors who also understand the genre: Olivia Buckle, Jonathan Stoddard, Aubrey Reynolds, and let's give a shout out to Douglas because we haven't. Mike Gassaway. Mike Gassaway. He was very fun too. I would say that I would put this in the category of a so bad it's good type of movie. You could watch it. You could watch it and absolutely hate this movie. Or if you go along for the ride and you're like, well, it's a Lifetime movie, it is going to be one of your favorite Lifetime movies. So this would be a great entryway for somebody who hasn't seen a Lifetime movie ever to understand exactly what the genre is. So I am pouring it up for that. I'm pouring it up for the people who are behind the movie who clearly get the genre. And it was fun. I mean, it is a convoluted plot, but that's what Lifetime does.
Okay. All right. Well,
got to pour it up.
High praise from both of you.
And she finally got DA, which is very exciting. And it makes her a lot harder to kill, I think. So good luck to the. I just feel like
do you think she gets the elevator codes at that point?
I think she does get the elevator code. She can do whatever she wants at that point. Yeah. We did, everybody. Congratulations, Patrick. So great to see you again. We're going to do it again next month. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.